Hi, here's my audience. Hello, my name is Jay Nelson, and today I'll be discussing one of the most influential and iconic musical artists of our time. Dave Grohl, originally the drummer for the band Nirvana, altered rock and roll for the better. After the loss of his close friend, the question lingered in the air. What's next? For Dave Grohl, the answer was obvious to that question, was to turn to music. After Kurt Cobain's death in 1994, Grohl produced Foo Fighters' first albums completely solo, including the instrumentals and vocals. On his second time being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Paul McCartney, he shared his grief and related to his experiences as he also composed music on his own after the death of John Lennon. Grohl used his musical genius to move forward after his best friend's death, giving us one of the most iconic and recognizable rock bands in the world. Grohl's raw talent and perseverance propelled him from humble beginnings to superstardom. He is a multi-talented musician with a heart for percussion, and he did not let grief define him or his future. From lower-class beginnings to one of the most recognized rock icons worldwide, Grohl earned his recognition through raw talent alone. Raised by his mother in North Springfield, Virginia, in what he describes as a brick rambler, their fiscal state wasn't the best, but despite this fiscal state, his mother bought him a Sears Silvertone guitar, which he practiced punk songs on while practicing percussion on his pillows in his bedroom. Grohl is a multifaceted musician and a talented drummer, and his melodies and percussive rhythms are enough to turn anyone into a fan. He's a musician with a heart for percussion. He's able to produce entire albums on his own, but he is obviously most well known for his drumming for the band Nirvana. After hints of his percussive talent can be heard in his guitar and his vocals, Terry Gross in an interview said that you started as a drummer, you can hear a very percussive, rhythmic style in your guitar playing. He's also completely self-taught. He plays drums holding his drumsticks backwards, and he's only ever had one drum lesson in his entire life. His lack of technical knowledge and his lack of knowledge of music theory only serves to highlight the raw and real nature of the music that he produces. When Nirvana dissolved, Grohl was tempted to call it quits, but he did the opposite. He refused to let tragedy define him, and when Kurt died, he couldn't even listen to music. In another interview, he said, coming from Nirvana, that was a really difficult transition to make. Because when Nirvana ended, I didn't think anyone wanted to make music ever again. In the same interview, he says that the whole idea of Foo Fighters was to be a continuation of life. Grohl eventually reconnected with his Nirvana days and celebrated them instead of pushing them away in his memoirs and documentaries. He reconnected with his old bandmates and began making music with them as well in recent years. So all in all, Grohl, excuse me, is a multifaceted musician from humble beginnings and refused to let his tragedies define him. Without Grohl, rock and roll as a genre would be worse off, and the whole music industry is better with his existence. Thank you.